Trump, we are tired of the lies. Say it with me. We are tired of the lies, honey. You guys know this is breaking news. Trump trial, his hush money is, we talking about it. So I got some video footage that we must react to, and they are saying his whole body shut down. This could be the end for Trump if the juries get it right. They are saying that Trump is afraid of the jurors. They even saying Fox News are predicting, what if he is convicted as he should because he was doing wrong? Okay, and then did y'all hear that this man also had another affair with another whore or porn star, whatever you want to call it, while he was married? Then lied about it, then tried to pay her off because he did not want Stormy and these other girls to expose him for the wrongdoer that he is. And honey, I'm hearing that he done got his friend to pay Stormy off to shut her quiet, okay? And he decided to pay his homeboy. Yeah, pay his homeboy, but how he did it, he lied about the thing, which 34 counts. We're talking about a felony, okay? Now listen, like I said, I'm getting new into this arena and I want to dive more into it. And I just want to say I thank you all for giving me patience and supporting me as I go to this journey of Trump, because what I'm seeing and what I'm discovering is ridiculous. And a lot of people don't know it. A lot of people don't know it. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. I am your host, Miss Gigi with the T. You are at the Messy Sweet Spot. And I was over here at my boy Ben channel. I just been discovering him and I love how he's putting it down. Now it says Trump's body shuts down at final moment because he knows this is it for him. And that's why all of his mega people, they are outraged, they are upset, they are doing crazy shit. And I'm scared because we see when they do not get their way, what they did to January the 6th, it's going to be another one, another one. And this is how these individuals act when they don't get their way. They go to violence. Okay, very violent people. And bribery and all that lies. Just let's
The jury is now deliberating in Donald Trump's criminal trial, and before deliberations, as the judge was providing the jury with their instructions, and the prosecution and the defense, including criminal defendant Donald Trump, could make their last and final impressions on the jury. One of the most critical moments in this trial. What was Donald Trump doing? Sleeping.
What?
Donald Trump.
What? He is sleeping because he don't give a damn. Either he don't care or it's already rigged. He already know he's going to get away with it and he doesn't care. For him to sleep, and this is the person that y'all want to be the leader of this country, and y'all talk about Sleepy Joe, honey, he's another sleepy one. Sleepy Trump. I I can't believe, but I believe what he said. Sleeping.
Fell asleep during the jury instruction reading by His Honor Justice Merchan. Harry Litman was in the court and he reports Trump asleep, head back and to the side. That's right, folks. Donald Trump's body shut down. Donald Trump.
That's another way to put it. I ain't think about it like that. His body done shut his ass down, okay? And that's why he done fell asleep. He was knocked out when he knew what the horror that is intended to him. He didn't shut down. See, I'm thinking he was just closing his eyes and falling asleep because he's careless. But they're saying that, those moments and just seeing and Trump feeling the presence of doomsday for him, he he just was out for the count.
Trump was sleeping as the judge was reading to the jury instructions throughout this criminal trial, beginning with jury selection. We've seen Donald Trump's body continue to shut down. Donald Trump continued to fall asleep over and over again in almost full REM sleep at moments. It was very odd personal behavior, very odd personal hygiene, all in display during this criminal trial, becoming a
What was he doing? Watching porn last night? We know he loved porn stars, clearly. He willing to jeopardize his whole family for porn stars right when his wife had his baby. What type of man is that? Let's go.
sideshow to this very, very serious trial. It's not without irony that last night Donald Trump sent out an email to those on his email list, and I'm on that list, so y'all don't have to be on that list. And here's what Donald Trump wrote: Ben, are you awake? I can't sleep. ... And then when you open this email, yeah, I had to open it, unfortunately, and it says, I can't go to bed until I hear from you, Ben. Please, please, please respond before midnight. Right now, all I can think about is you, Ben. I can't sleep. That's the email that Donald Trump is sending for fundraising. How pathetic. Look, folks, the news about Donald Trump continuing to...
Something is off with Trump. If he is indeed sending that, something is off. Why is a man sending those type of... Something off.
fall asleep beginning at jury selection came fast and furious by a ton of reporters in the courtroom. This is corroborated by numerous sources. Trump appears to have fallen asleep while listening to testimony, at times appearing to stir and then falling back to sleep. Trump's eyes were closed for extended periods, and his head has at times jerked in a way consistent with sleeping. That was earlier in the trial. Earlier in the trial as well, Harry Litman, who was there, reported, Trump looks out, eyes closed, drooping mouth. Earlier in the trial, another great reporter by the name of Frank Runyon, he reports, now, Trump's head slowly dropped, his eyes closed. It jerked back upward. He adjusts himself. Then his head droops again. He straightens up, leaning back. His head droops for a third time. He shakes his shoulders, eyes closed still. His head drops. Finally, he pops his eyes open. Another moment in the trial, Maggie Haberman reported, Trump has apparently jolted back awake, noticing the notes his lawyers passed to him several minutes ago. Suzanne Craig from the New York Times reports Trump is struggling to stay awake. His eyes were closed for a short period. He was jolted awake when Todd Blanche, his lawyer, nudged him while sliding a note in front of him. NBC reported earlier in the trial, Trump appears to have fallen asleep while listening to the testimony. Trump's eyes were closed for extended periods of time. This is Lisa Rubin, who's been in the courtroom. She's reporting from MSNBC.
Everybody can't be lying. You know, everybody cannot be lying. Either his old age, he was up all night stressing a war, or he just knows that this is the end for him. Now, I also want to play this. These are reports by Fox, and you know Fox is all up Trump butt. And they are feeling devastated. They are in low spirits. And let's look at this.
Regarding the phone conversation with Donald Trump while Pecker was in the investor meeting. They also want Pecker and Cohen's testimony.
Now, what I wouldn't like about this, if I were a defense lawyer, and again, taking all Trey's caution about, not reading too much into this, if I'm a defense lawyer, I want them to focus on the records, because the charges in the indictment are falsification of the business records. If they're looking for Pecker's story, that's the prosecutor's version of events. The prosecutors portrayed this case to the jury as a conspiracy that went back to 2015 to influence the election, and Pecker was a key player in that. It could be that they're refreshing their recollection of the testimony. Could also be that there's some buy-in to the prosecution's theory of the case.
Rule That's gonna hurt! You know, whenever one of these Fox guests dare offer a dose of sanity or context or even just perspective uncommon to that often perpetuated by the Murdoch manipulation machine, doesn't it always look like the other host is gonna cry?
Microsoft thing, $3 billion, big job creators. That's in Racine. Isn't that the same town that Foxconn said, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, we're going to build a big plant, and they never did?
Yes, and that was a huge Trump announcement back then, and he said the factory was going to be the 8th wonder of the world, but then Foxconn decided to really scale back their plans, and the land is still available, so Microsoft is going in.
It's going to be good for those people.
All right, thank you, Peter.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's day one of jury deliberations, and after around 4 hours, a panel of 12 New Yorkers tasked with determining whether Trump is guilty of 34 felony charges of falsifying business records related to a hush money payment to an adult film star before the 2016 presidential election. Just in case you forgot, it's not a hush money trial, it's an election interference trial. They returned with a note, which of course sent alarm bells across social media, with many speculating as to what.
Got it. So he is saying that it interfered with the election because Trump wanted to pay all this off in the hush money so the porn stars will not come out so that he can win the election. Because we all know if those porn stars would have spoke their truth as they should, he would not have won the election. But he did some hocus pocus and used a lot of money to pay her off, and then lied how he used the money. And then he was having sexual interactions with other porn stars while he was married. Okay? He is a whore. We got a whore in the White House. Okay? And he did all this so he can get elected. Because he wouldn't have need to do all this if he was not going for the White House, because I'm sure he probably did not care. But because he's going to the White House and you have to have this type of stellar reputation, he wanted to hurry up and pay it off. And the way he did it was not right. Okay, but let's go.
What it was in relation to. Now, the note asked for 4 requests, most notably David Pecker's testimony regarding a phone conversation with Donald Trump while Pecker was in the investor meeting. Pecker's testimony about the decision not to finalize and fund the assignment of Karen McDougal's life rights, Pecker's testimony regarding a Trump Tower meeting, and lastly, Michael Cohen's testimony regarding the Trump Tower meeting.
Yeah, this is interesting, and let's get into it. We now have the first clues about what they're discussing, and we want to be as careful as possible. The fact that they're asking about something may or may not be what it looks like at first impression. For example, Katie, a meeting that the prosecution brought up because they say it's bad for Trump. The fact that the jury's discussing it doesn't mean they agree with the prosecution that it's bad for Trump. But these are definitely key questions about reviewing evidence, testimonial or otherwise, regarding the tabloid plot. So we have Mr. Pecker, who of course was the first star witness. He of course ran the Inquirer. I think people remember. He was the AMI chief. The Trump Tower meeting is important to the prosecution's case, and our prosecutors can speak to this as well, because that's where they argue the catch and kill plot was developed. So
now, for those looking at this trial objectively, or sorry, those looking at it not crying in a weird seance-y cult-like way outside.
Why are these people crying? He don't give a damn about you. This is a rich man we're talking about. These people are insane. They're very cult-like.
Bible, only Bible guy. Yeah. He's we need you. You need you.
You'd know that asking to hear 4 pieces of testimony regarding a scheme to, quote, catch and kill negative stories about Trump ahead of the 2016 election doesn't exactly bode well for the defense. And one place I most certainly wasn't expecting this point to be relayed was on Fox News. And as a result, I wonder if we'll see this fella on the network again.
Now, what I wouldn't like about this, if I were a defense lawyer, and again, taking all Trey's caution about, not reading too much into this, if I'm a defense lawyer, I want them to focus on the records, because the charges in the indictment are falsification of the business records. If they're looking for Pecker's story, That's the prosecutor's version of events. The prosecutors portrayed this case to the jury as a conspiracy that went back to 2015 to influence the election, and Pecker was a key player in that. So it could be that they're refreshing their recollection of the testimony. It could also be that there's some buy-in to the prosecution's theory of the case. We'll just have to see.
But anyway, why does it matter? Well, jurors requested to hear 4 pieces of testimony from the weeks-long trial, including former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker testifying about a 2015 meeting with Trump and ex-attorney Michael Cohen about killing negative stories about Trump. He also testified that he would be the campaign's, quote, eyes and ears, and would alert Cohen if he heard anything negative about Trump or anything about women selling stories, so that the campaign could ensure that...
So it sounds like he was gatekeeping, just like a Diddy. When people want to expose Diddy or people want to expose Trump for the horrible person he was, he had workers that was in the media that was gatekeeping those stories to hit the media, so we would not be informed of what's going on, and that's not right. And he knew about this, and he was paying big money to keep people hush, okay? So he can win the White House. And they say he is still doing these type of briberies and gatekeeping all the truths from a lot of his victims. They say he got a lot of victims out here. He have done a lot of people wrong, and they are not getting their chance to tell their story because he have so many gatekeepers in place. Okay? Yeah, it's horrible all the way around.
Those stories would not be published. And as well as this, they asked to hear Cohen's testimony about that 2015 meeting with Trump and Pecker.
The fact that they are asking for Michael Cohen after the onslaught he took is interesting, because that means that there isn't sort of unanimity on, like, we are not going to focus on what he said. We do not believe him. It is not useful. It is, to me, that has to be viewed as at least a potentially good sign that they are like, yes, he may need corroboration, but we want to hear what he has to say.
They're also asking for...
And here is the thing, right? Of course, apply all the caveats here. But first instinct is that this is not welcome news for Trump or his team. Prosecutors spent a lot of their lengthy closing argument focusing on the value of Pecker's testimony. This is basically the roadmap that they asked jurors to follow. And if they thought that that road led nowhere, they'd likely not ask for more information on the matter. The fact that they want to, as even this Fox News guest is admitting, could mean that they're reading into that roadmap. And one last thing that I think everyone in the media should be doing while covering this trial is bookending coverage with a little segment I like to call outside of the courtroom. What was the other candidate for presidency doing? Aside from not having a jury deliberate on the potential criminality of his conduct, he was at a rally in which he laid bare the stark differences between both. And unlike Mr. Courtroom Siesta, was met with applause.
The Libertarian Party should nominate Trump for President of the United States. Whoa. That's nice. That's nice.
Could you... So let's go here. This is the video that just came out as well. Would you guys take a look at?
We have breaking news right now in the hush money trial of former President Donald Trump. We have just learned that the jury has sent a note to the judge requesting 4 specific things, but mainly it has to do with wanting more specific items in the testimony of National Enquirer publisher David Pecker and also testimony from Michael Cohen. Now, what they want to hear in Pecker's testimony has to do with his testimony regarding a Trump Tower meeting, his testimony regarding a phone conversation with the former president, and also testimony about the Karen McDougal story. Now, Karen McDougal is another adult film star in which she alleges she also had an affair with the former president and was also paid off to keep quiet. When it comes to Michael Cohen's testimony, the jury specifically asking for Cohen's testimony regarding that Trump Tower meeting. So it does appear the jury wants more specific details and wants to hear more testimony really regarding that Trump Tower meeting. So right now, though, the judge will be calling back all the jurors in, including the alternate jurors, where those testimonies, those 4 specific incidents, will be read out loud. Now, this is the first note the jury has sent. They have been deliberating for just under 4 hours now, and Local 10 News will keep you updated on this historic criminal case, both on air
All right, comment, let us know, honey. The downfall is these porn stars. Is this the why Candace wanted to ban porn because of Stormy Daniels' downfall of Trump? It ain't nothing. It's not Stormy Daniels' fault that Trump is a cheater. He's a liar and deceiver and a monster and try to cover it up. And he does not want to be accountable for his wrongdoing. And he would do any and everything to try to get control and power over the world so he can see it the way he want to. Okay. Honey, comment, let us know. I am new in this and I hope I'm doing all right. I'm trying to get my feet wet, understand some things. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe if you guys want me to continue on this path. I need the support. I need you guys to like, share, subscribe, and put comments. Comment. And I will see you guys on another video. Bye.